Hello. Hi, everybody. Is anybody there? How are you guys doing today? It is, I'm only 2 minutes late, so it's not too bad. I've only seen one person say hi. Are you guys there? Is anybody here? Is anybody. Can you guys hear me? I don't know. This might not even be on. And I would just be talking to myself. I wouldn't know. Now there's a couple more hellos. Hi. How bad is the stream delay today? Is it bad? I am a bit I'm a bit tired today, so I'll wake up a bit more later on as we go on. So, yeah. I'm a little bit less enthusiastic right now. What? Why? I don't know why I would say that. I feel like I feel like I shouldn't just say things the chat wants me to say. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Code Mari, did you not get the notification? I sent out a notification half an hour ago saying stream in 30 minutes. So, yeah. I mean, unless if you, I suppose, just like, I don't know, have notifications turned off, I put out an announcement in the Discord. Usually it's an hour and a half, but I lost track of time today. So, yeah, that's why I was only like 2 minutes late, so it's not that big of a deal, but like, yeah. Okay. Oh, your Discord notifications are on silent? Alright. Fair enough, I suppose. Okay. So, today we are doing plants. And it's going to be pretty interesting because we got quite a few submissions for plants. Linux made some, and then we got a couple others, and others. There were a couple ones that people actually drew, and then some that were like, hey, here's a cool image that we could use. So we're going to be going through the ones that people submitted, and then we'll like brainstorm some more. I don't think we're going to have any extra time to do like Minesweep or anything today because we've got quite a few things to do, and it's going to be fun. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this because like it's plants, it's populating Ilaria, you know. Instead of just thinking of it as a barren island, now we could think of it as an island with a bunch of plants on it. So yay. Okay, are we ready to move on to the plants document that we put together? Or you can't hear me? Why not? It should be up. Can you hear the music? I thought, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's showing that I'm in like, I guess I am pretty low, but did everything just stop working? Some people can hear you. It's just a little, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I can manually turn up the audio. Like, let me do that real quick. How is this? Is this better? Is this, I don't know. I turned it up manually because on OBS it's turned up all the way, and I just turned it up manually on the mixer. How is it now? Hopefully this made a difference. If it's still not loud enough, I can turn it up more. Is it good? Bad? Yes, no, maybe. People who were saying that it was quiet. Are you good now? That's loud. Yeah, wait, what? It got quiet. I don't know what's going on. Nothing's like changing. Everything should be the same. The only thing that would be changing, I guess, is the level of my voice, and I don't know. Can you just like, I don't know, hopefully most people are saying it's fine. So if it's not fine for a small few of you, I would recommend turning up the volume or turning down the volume depending on what you need. And if not, like, wear some headphones or something maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the plants, I think, right? Are we all good to go? I think we're all ready, right? Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna move on regardless of if we're ready or not. So, all right, here's the plants document. So, like I said, Ralunix drew up quite a few plants, and so we're gonna be going through those, and then we have some others here too. We've got how many total? 21, and then we can create more plants. Oh, grass. Okay, well, whatever. Alrighty. Now, most of these do not have names, so we can also brainstorm some names for these plants. Okay, so this first one, I think, is this big enough? I always am worried, especially on like the Reddit videos, on if like everything's large enough for you guys to see. I mean, hopefully it is, but I mean, I don't know. I think this is fun. If it's too small, I'll zoom in more, but anyway, this one is a flower that survives in pairs. A single flower, if it's cut off from its pair, it will instantly die. The petals turn gold around people who are in love, and they can die around broken hearts, around the same size as a lily. So I love this idea. I think it's so cool because it could be like a subtle hint, you know, for Nico and Luna. Like, I mean, obviously they're not going to get together at the very beginning, but I do want them to get together at some point, like halfway through the show maybe, so that way it's not like it happens like on the final episode of the show. It's like, oh, we don't get to see any of their dynamic. So I do want it to happen fairly early on in the show, like maybe season 2. So that could just be a cool, this plant could be a cool indication to the viewers that like something's happening, that like if they walk by it, some petals turn gold, and you know they wouldn't see it, but we as the viewers would see it because they're like walking away and then it turns gold. And I don't know, I think I like that. So I think that would just be a cool little subtle like thing in there that could I don't know, have some fun times maybe. Yeah, we could have that plant in the background. So, yeah, I assume that will come around if they're like out exploring or something. So I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so we don't have a name for that one yet. If anybody, should we do like a quick name brainstorm session for this one? Should we do that for everyone or just like quickly go? I don't know. If anybody has any names for this plant, I mean, if Ralunix has any names, I don't know if they're here today. But if I don't think there was an official name yet, so if anybody has any ideas, go ahead and put them down. Well, is it down? I don't know. Put them in the comments or the stream chat, I suppose. It's a little bit different. Okay. Fine. It should probably be something with two, like a pair or a duo. Oh, Ralunix is here. Hey, welcome. A Ducurb. Ducurb, am I pronouncing that right? Ducurb the flower because deuce means couple. Okay. Something in Latin that means together. Well, you guys are gonna have to put them in duplet. Cup lilies. Cup lilies. Couplet. Couplet. A name for the flower. I'm gonna mispronounce this whole thing. Oh boy. I can't pronounce things in other languages. Avard Dire. This is downhill from the first word. Okay. Ahad Dire Iver means love and herb, Hebrew. And dyad means something that consists of two elements. Well, I'd be totally up for that one, but I can't pronounce it, so I don't even know what to call it. Ducapula means heart in Greece. Pole. No, 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 no. We don't need pole. We don't need a pole. Pedal duplet. Capola. Amias, meaning Latin name for loved. Amias. Amora duplet. Well, I feel like this is not going good, so I don't know. Love Rose. Love Rose seems too plain, maybe. What is Amora duplet? Like, is that something in a different language? And naming stuff is always a bit interesting. Amore Condensa. Amora duplet. Amora duplet. I like Amora duplet. Does anybody else like Amora duplet? This name? Anybody like Plant Duo Bus. That one's interesting. Drop the T? Well, duplet. I think duplet makes more sense. Alright, Plant Duo Bus. That one's interesting too. Alright, we're gonna go with this. I mean, all of these names can change later, but... Alright, cool. So we got the Amora duplet. Alright, so this next one. Can we make this fit on the same... There we go. Alright, cool. So we got this one. It's a curly plant. Maybe comestible, like rhubarb. Size like moss, maybe bigger. Lots on the floor. So it's just some cool looking vines. Every fantasy needs to have some sort of vines. And it's a food. So that's cool. What? Is it just for like what kind of food would you make with it? Is it just like a vegetable kind of thing? Or if you like cut it open, does it have like some sort of secret meat? That'd be interesting. Where did I get the pics? These were made by Ralunix. So thanks so much for making these. Eat it raw. Maybe it's got like a spine in the middle, and you have to like peel off. Like if you cut, like it's super hard to cut because there's a spine, but once you cut it, like you'd have to like peel around the spine, maybe. I don't know. All right. What do we want the name to be? Strong bitter flavor that is put into teas. Well, we have another tea one. Where was it? Was it? Yeah, type of tea. There's this one that's a tea. So, I mean, we could have another tea one. I'm just saying we have a tea one already, so we might want to do something different. for this one. So do we have any name ideas for this one? If we don't like doing the names, we can just come up with names some other time. Vinera Felice. Salve plant, curly plant in Italian. Venera. We don't need to make it an exact copy of rhubarb. The point of making unique plants is to have them unique. Interesting. Stuff that we don't know on Earth. Venure. Rhubarb. Fangfen? Verline? Verline. Fang. I'm sorry for not having a lot of energy today, guys. I was hyped up for the plants a couple days ago, and just not. So I apologize. Okay. Did anybody have any names that they saw in the chat that they liked? Covine. Covine. Coa equals common plus vine. Okay, if you guys put something in a different language, you need to put like what language it is. Well, I mean, I suppose you don't have to, but it just, you know, is more, I don't know. Gives me a little bit more insight as to what we're talking about, I suppose. Fangfen? I don't, is that something in a different language? Is it something, a reference I'm not getting? Covine. I kind of like Covine. Covine, I think, is my favorite so far. Is everybody fine with Covine? Is the plant common or rare? I feel like it would be more common, but I don't know. Okay, I think we're gonna go with Covine. All right, cool. Cool. All right, this one's cool. I like this one. It's a type of tree. I believe it would be funny if the leaves are stars, but a bunch makes a moon around the same size as the tree. So it's a tree that has a bunch of like little star leaves, but the way that the tree is formed, it makes a moon. It's really cool. So this one, I don't know like what, if it would appear in, like I'm trying to imagine this in some sort of scenario, like in a field or in like a forest. Like, I don't know where it would go, but it's definitely cool. And I want to know like if there's like this whole, you know how like there's biomes in Minecraft, like if there's different biomes on Ilaria, which I mean I know there's like different biomes on Earth too, but like I'm just saying different, it's sort of like broken up into different sections, like a forest, and then this, like there could be a forest full of these trees or something. A lunar biome, yeah, something like that. There's also a couple other like lunar, like this one's interesting too. So there could just be a bunch of stuff, like an interesting forest. So, well, I'm not too much of a gamer. I just the game that I play the most is Minecraft. So yeah. So okay, anybody got any names for this one? This one could be more straightforward, just like moon something, moon tree, possibly, because it's literally just a moon on a tree, sorta. Crescentos. I like Crescentos. That one's interesting. Lunaria. Lunaria sounds like a place. It sounds less like a plant and more like a place. Stellar tree. Okay, maybe. Selena. Play off the goddess of the moon. Selena. Selena tree? That one's interesting. Munada. Crescentos. I like Crescentos. I kind of want to go with Crescentos. So we're gonna go copy and paste. Does anybody have any objections to that? Oh, you don't like it, Sophia? Sorry. Okay, well, most people... Looks like most people like it, so that's what we're gonna go with for now. We can always change these later. And there's gonna be probably so many different kinds of plants that, like, one name... If you don't like one name of a plant, it's not that big of a deal, because there's so many others. Alright, this one's cool. A mushroom that has a night sky under it. It can make you fall asleep and melt you if you are under it. Same size as like a huge room. So my guess is it's like dripping. And if you're standing under it, you're gonna get hit by like the drops of whatever it's dripping down. I think that's really cool. It's interesting. I like it. Dangerous. Slumber room. Interesting. What about slumber shroom? I think it should have shroom in the name, maybe. How would it function at night? I don't know. Probably just the same way, maybe. I have no idea. The mushroom should be used to make either a food or a liquid that is safe but makes you fall unconscious. Okay, that's a good idea. Shroom room? Shroom. I don't... Shroom is too weird, I think. Well, it wouldn't be poison. Make a drug. Be used to make a drug that makes people fall. Maybe if you collect some of the droop stuff and like, I don't know, purify it and distill it and stuff. Maybe that'll do something. During the night, it could have the opposite effect, like staying, or like keeping on staying awake or having nightmares, possibly. Slumber shroom. Okay, I'm gonna go with slumber shroom. Slumber shroom. Sweet, I like this. How can you tell if a plant is common or rare? Well, we don't know. We haven't really decided. I would assume this is like a more rare one. This one I could see a whole like forest of. The ones that actually do stuff should be a bit more rare. Like this one would probably be a bit more rare. Like more rare than this one. So I guess it just depends sort of on what they do, because like obviously if you have like a super powerful one like this one, it's used to make a drug. Like if it's used for something like that, you don't want it to be as common, because otherwise everybody's gonna have access to it. So if it's just something like this where it's like a really cool looking plant but it doesn't like do too much, it's just cool, then you can have it be super common because it doesn't like there's no implications for it. So all right, next one, number 5, the demon tail. We already have a name for this one, so you don't have to like do anything that takes a lot of time. So the demon tail, it glows around diamonds, it dies in any type of light, and grows only in subterranean caves, small thin vines. These ones are so cool. So I don't know how often we're going to be seeing these because it's in the cave. Like there's going to have to be some sort of like cave adventure so we can actually see this. But yeah, I love the look of these. It's just so cool. There would be a very rare forest of slumber shrooms, and it is nearly impossible to reach the other side without falling asleep. That's also a good idea. I like that. What if the first one, what if it grows especially well on Valentine's Day? It depends on if the tradition of Valentine's Day carries over to Ilaria, because that is historically going to be an Earth sort of thing. So I don't know if, I mean, I guess depending on how, if that was a tradition that carried over from Earth when they were connected. Depends. I don't know. We'll have to see. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. Or maybe they have their own variation of like a love day that's sort of similar to Valentine's Day. It's just it actually has something to do with magic, and maybe like if you have a strong love for someone, your magic is amplified on that day or something. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Okay. So, plant number 6. Similar to our cacti, but its temperature is sensitive, and if you grab them like our cacti, it pops into a rainbow. It's the same size as a cattail. So you can't carry these and pick them up, because if you do, they're just gonna poof into a rainbow. What do we want to call it though? Did I say cacti? I meant cattail. Did I actually say cacti? I meant cattail. Rain pop poof bow. Rainbow tail. Rain tail. Bow tail. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say cacti. I meant cattail. Rain pop. Rain poof. Poof bow. Psychedelia. Cacto rain. Rainbow tail. I like rainbow tail. Rainbow tail is nice, simple. Yeah, this one probably would be a bit more common. Alrighty. Next one. A type of tea good for relaxing. The leaves of the flowers are medicinal for pain. Maybe. Similar size to vines, but thicker and larger. Maybe this must be medicine. So it's tea and it helps with some pain. So this one would probably be a bit more rare, but like this one I could see being a little bit more common than some of the others, just because it's a tea and teas are probably a bit more common. Massage tea. Relish? No, relish is already a thing. Maybe the roots are poisonous? That could be interesting. That's an interesting idea. Peace tea. Aquarina plant. Sooth tea. Iro tea. No, I can't. I don't think we could do that. As much as I want to, but. Fire plant. Romeo. Peace tea. I don't know. I feel like it has to be something that is like, I don't know, something in another language that means like, I don't know, relaxing or pain relieving or something like that. Eid. A few days ago it was Eid. What? Okay, well, I haven't really seen any names that I was super fond of for this one. Helilunia? It means healing in Icelandic. Helunia? Helunia? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know how to pronounce like half these things you guys are putting in. Yeah, I think Helunia is my favorite one so far. We're going to do that for now. If we don't like it, we can just change it at some other time in the future. Okay. Alright, so this next one is a type of mushroom that is poisonous to almost all Ilarians. To others, it might just give hallucinations. Very tall, Many grows like grass and they might be parasitic and spread in groups. So this one would be like the troublesome plant, like the weeds of Ilaria, except for like they're super dangerous. So you just like they're not probably super common in like towns and cities because they have people who specialize in getting rid of them, so you don't see them too often. But like if you go out into the forest, you can see a small patch like spreading, and it'll spread over time, and it's like, uh-oh, not good. Better stop this before it spreads to the whole forest. Something. Poison lilac. Hall shroom. Almost all. So others are just munching on it like, haha, while others are like, ow, oh wait, hallucinating. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it would affect humans. Like, if it would be poisonous to humans, or if it would just be like the hallucination kind. Because that one might be interesting for like Nico to be like, hey, these plants look pretty cool. And then like Luna turns around and is like, wait, don't touch those. And by the time she says that, it's already too late, and Nico's already like rolling around in them or something. He's like, whoa, this is weird. Something. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it would be dangerous to them, and maybe there's just like very few species on Ilaria that isn't affected, like maybe some sort of fish or something. Deadly shroom. I don't, just because, I mean, it is a type of mushroom, but it doesn't look like your traditional mushroom. So I don't think we should call it, I don't think it should have shroom in the name. Deathroot? Well, possibly. I mean, if it's known for killing people. Advocate's lullaby? Okay, well, everybody seems to like Deathroot. Are we good with Deathroot? Doma Becking Etruno. Essentially doom, illusion, poisoning. In what language? Okay, well, it seems like a lot of people are wanting Deathroot, so I mean, I'm fine with Deathroot. Morbus? Imagine Nico is immune to them. And there's like, no, don't eat it. But if he does, before she can stop him because he's impulsive, Luna thinks he's gonna die or something, but he's actually fine. Yeah, something like that. Or I feel like it would be one of those things where it's like, if you just touch it, like, it could be bad, like really bad. If you eat it, you're basically dead. But if you touch it, then it's like poison gets into your skin where you touched it, and it's like you gotta like amputate an arm or something. Okay, we're gonna go with Deathroot for now. We can change it later if nobody ends up liking it in the end. Deathroot. Alrighty. Next one. A single plant that starts out as a small orb and grows huge until it fully grows and blooms inside. Imagine it like one of those immortal jellyfish. When the outside dies, there is already a small one inside to grow again. Made it because I thought it would be a nice dating place. As tall as a maple tree, and the branches are as thick as a hand. I think this one's so cool. It's just like a cool little dome. I don't know what we would call this one, but I like the design. It'd be like a cool little place to spend an afternoon, I feel like. Especially since it's pink on the inside. Like, yeah. Looks like a great place to trap someone. Yeah, it looks like one of those flowers that is, like, it looks nice, but then it's actually just a trap. But this one is not actually a trap. It's actually a nice looking flower. So, yeah, no trickaroos on this one. Orb lily. Orb lily's not too bad if it was a lily. Philos orbis. I think it's a hot air balloon. It's as tall as a maple tree. So however tall a maple tree is, that's how tall this one is. Or bloom or florb. Florb. Florb sounds like something from alien stuff. The white is like spider webs. Many thin and nice. They will be hard to wash off, but it would be cute, you know, if someone was there. Spheria. Spheria. Yeah, I don't want to do Florb. Spheria. Spheria. I kind of like Spheria. Aqua Orb? No, I don't like Aqua Orb. Spore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why? I don't. Why is everybody saying Aqua Orb? I don't. It's not even blue. Immortal Garden. A crowd at top? Well, sort of. It's more of just the vines converging. Sphero. Orbisa Bloom. Orbisa Bloom. Orbisa Bloom. I kind of like that one, actually. Definitely on the rare side of the spectrum. Yeah, this one would probably be a bit more rare. What does everyone think of Orbisa Bloom? Like Orbisa for orb, and then bloom because it's a flower. Flower orb. Alright. I'm gonna go with that one then. Orbisa Blue. Alright. So this one, I don't have a description for this one, so we can come up with something for this. I can't. Tiny. Does that say mouse trap or something? I can't. It's too small from here, so I'd have to like zoom in. But I don't think I could do that here. Anyway. Rich plant in their garden. You go play. Oh, rich people planted in their garden. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that one makes sense for this one. Yeah. This one I feel like would be some sort of food, like grapes. Then you could pick it off. And what if it was like Pop Rocks, where it like pops in your mouth or something, which is why it's like, or like, you know, I don't know, whatever these things are. could be a good house plant that grows infinite berries. Well, I don't know if it would be infinite, but it could grow every season. Blackberry. Sea plant? I don't... Would it be a sea plant? Possibly, but I feel like it would be cool if it wasn't a sea plant. Fizzy. Yeah, I think the berries or whatever you pick off of it, it should do something weird in your mouth. So it either pops or it like melts. Maybe the Alarian version of soda. Actually, that could be interesting. So it's like you pick off a grape, for example, you put it in your mouth and then it like melts into a liquid. And then that liquid is like a soda. And then people can like condense it down into an actual like soda glass. But if you get it just like in its pure form like this, then it's cool because it's like it's hard at first, and when you put it in your mouth then it melts and it'll be like, whoa, interesting. Poppleberry. Poppleberry. I love that. I love Poppleberry. You never had fizzy candy? I think I have, maybe. I don't know. Possibly. I like Poppleberry because that sounds like a soda. Nope, not Peopleberry. Poppleberry. Pop and fizzle together for popple. And then berry. I think that's great. And is anybody against that? Like, it just sounds like a soda. Like, if you're at a restaurant on Ilaria, it's like, what drink do you want? And then you're like, I'll have the Poppleberry. You know? Peopleberry? Yeah, no, that was an autocorrect. Alright, sweet. I love Poppleberry. Alright, so the description for this one would be a plant with many berries. Wait, alright, berries on it. Are there 2 R's in berries? I think so. Berries on it. For some reason, this doesn't look right, but maybe that's just because I'm tired or something. With many berries on it. Pick. Okay, fair enough, I suppose. You can pick it and eat the individual berries. When you put the berries in your mouth, they melt into a soda-like substance. Companies take these plants and turn them into pure soda. There we go. Is that good? We good with that? This could be like Nico's favorite thing. He could be like, oh my gosh, Poppleberry soda is so good. Taste like? What does it taste like? I don't know. I mean, it would obviously taste good. I don't know what it would taste like, but it tastes like Poppleberries. Okay, I don't know how to describe it. All right, are we ready to move on? Okay, this one is one of my favorite ones. I know this stick person here indicates that this is really large, but I sort of want it to be smaller because to me, I don't know if I was envisioning something different from what this is envisioning, but I feel like this is like a water fountain plant. Or not a water fountain plant, like a, well, I suppose it would be a water fountain, but water fountain implies that it's like the drinking fountain, but like a fountain that you see just out, you know, in a plaza or something. That's sort of what, like a smaller plant version of this. I think that's so cool. Like, it's just, it has water up here and it flows back into itself. Like, I feel like that's so cool. And then the water would taste different. I don't even know if it's water. It could be something completely different. But, maybe it's like the plants. I know plants don't have blood, but they could be... It could be like this plant's version of blood, maybe. And then you could drink it. And it would just be some sort of... Like, it would taste good. But people... I mean, like, obviously, if you drink enough, then the plant's gonna die. So, I don't know. I feel like it would be cool. So, I like this one. Oh, wait. That is confirmation as to what this is. So, we're going to do a fountain plant. The liquid... Wait, I like QUID. The liquid taste different from water, but similar in property. Or maybe it's just normal water. It's just, since it's been running through the plant, it's changed its flavor a little bit because the plant tastes different. Feels like it gets bothered a lot, possibly. Well-round fountain. Well-round fountain. Water plus plant nutrients. Yeah. Okay. Different because it is a water and nutrients. Ah, I broke something. Not sure if this is rare or common. I don't know. I feel like it would be sort of rare, but like you could still see it, you know. And it's not like something that you would have to like go super far to find. You could find it, you know, like not too far away from a town, or like possibly you could find it in towns depending on how like large it is. What if a plant has feeling and the water only comes out when it lets out its emotions? That could be interesting, but I feel like for the sake of the show, I'd want the water to be constantly running, because I feel like that's interesting. Water sprout or water spout. Spring, sapper spring. I don't like sapper, but I do like spring. Something spring, maybe? Maybe poor people build their settlements around large ones for the water, which also has nutrients. Possibly. Crystal spring. Well, probably not crystal spring. Aqua spring. Imagine that plant in the desert not giving people water because they like to see them die. Jeez, that's kind of harsh. It's sad, a plant that constantly cries. I don't like to think of it as a sad plant. I think it'd be a happy plant. I don't know. Sprouting spring? Actually, I like that. A sprouting spring. Anybody else like that? Sprouting spring? Sprouting spring. Spring sprouts, sprouting spring. I like sprouting. Sprouting spring. Sweet. Alright, cool. Alright, this one's cool. This one's like a fluffy tree. I'm just gonna fluffy. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's basically what it is as of right now. I want this sort of to be where Durellium has his like personal like hideout thing. Or it's not Durellium, I always say that. Durellum, right? I think that's how you pronounce it. Durellum, that's where he has his like secret hideout thing, like he can climb up the tree and he can have like steps up there. And then he can just like imagine it is like fluff fur stuff, but you can still, like, it's dense enough to where like you can walk on it in the tree, but you can carve out the inside and have like a little door and like push it open and stuff. Or maybe just everything in here's hollow and it's just like a shell around it or something. But anyway, he could just have his like little hideout there. And that could be used to make clothes. That too. Very soft, fluffy tree. Its material is commonly used to make things like bedding and furniture cushions. Alright, I'll just go ahead and copy and paste this. A very soft, like, bedding and clothes. Looks like flames to me. Well, it looks, I don't know, it sort of looks like flames, but it feels more cottony to me when I look at it. Yeah, and this tree would be a big tree. Floomp. Floomp. Wispy tree? Wispy tree. That's interesting. Reminds me of the trees from Lorax. Yeah, it sort of does. It's just a little bit different. Fluffy flame. Fluffy flames is interesting because it does look like flames. It's just fluffy. Fluffy flame. Like troll hair, yeah. Anybody like fluffy flames? The fluffy flame tree. Will-o-wisp. Alluring flame, fluffy shrub. Shrub implies it's smaller, and this is a large tree. Wispy. Are you okay with me asking common or rare for every plant? No, that's fine. I think this one seems like one that, well, there's two different ways I could see this. One, I could see it being in a big forest, so that people could just go and harvest and make clothes and stuff. The other one is that you just find them in the middle of like just a normal forest with normal looking trees. And then it's like you just see a ginormous fluffy tree. And it's like, oh wow. Well, we don't want to like take its fur. Well, maybe there's both. Maybe there's forests of them and those ones end up just being roots, and it could actually be kind of sad for the trees because it's just like a dead forest. With trunks and no fluffy fur, so it's just like a dead looking forest. But then on the other hand, you can have just these singular trees out in the middle of either nowhere or in the middle of just a different kind of forest. But nobody would want to destroy it because it's like, oh, cool, there's this tree in this forest, you know, growing outside the pack. So, yeah. So it gives a rainbowy fabric, sort of, maybe. I don't know what the fabric would be, but maybe it's just like, if you divide it up thin enough, it's like it doesn't really have much of a color. Wispy tree, something willow. Truffle tree. Fluffy flames maybe make the color a bit more fire. No, I like the color. I like the purple. Cloudo willow. I like cloud. Don't know about the willow part though. Fluffin' torch? Fluffin' torch. That one's interesting. Fluffin' torch. I kind of like Fluffin' torch. Cloud wispies. Wispy willow. To me, a willow tree seems more, I don't know, more dark and ominous. This tree seems like fluffy and happy. For whatever reason, willow trees strike me as more sad. At least the word like willow sounds more sad. I'm good with Fluffin' torch. Because, I mean, it does look like a torch. And it's fluffy. Fluffin' torch. Alright, we're going to go with Fluffin' torch for now. Yeah, okay, I didn't think I could do that. Alright, the Fluffin' torch. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so those were all the ones from Raw Lunix. Now, let's see, who did this one? Let me go pull it up. This one was from Edafexa. That's who it was. Edafexa did the whisper lilies. These ones are pretty cool. So, whatever this name is, an extraordinarily rare, beautiful blue flower with golden blue strands blooming from its petals. Legend says that those who wish upon its seeds have the potential for their wish to come true with time. This is like their scientific name. I don't know if we're going to be doing scientific names. It does. I don't think it really matters because it's I don't know. Maybe for a couple plants, depending on if there's like a class and like if we peek into the class or something. But yeah, I don't know. Inspired by naturally forming bluebell flowers found on Earth, these exotic Ilorian flora possess the power to grant wishes for a price. With a 10-year growing period and a flowering/germination rate of 1 golden blue strand every year after, these natural beauties require much attention and care to properly thrive, but when tended to properly can produce great rewards. These plants have the ability to grant wishes. Whenever a golden blue strand is harvested from its core, a wish can be whispered into the strand in the subsequent moments and cast off into the wind in hopes of the wish coming true. Though not every wish is granted, the chances of any wish being granted can be increased for every year the golden blue strand remains unharvested. While cultivated, whisper lilies do not go well as naturally occurring ones. Variants are the perfect tools to teach long-term patience to even the most stubborn inquirers. Okay, and then there's a formula for the chance of the thing. I guess the formula actually got cut out, but whatever. I have it on a Google Doc. And then this is sort of what it looks like. These are the reference images, and then this is sort of what it would look like on Ilaria. And I actually think this is a really cool idea. The problem with wishes in shows is that it's like, well, if you include a wishing device, then it's like, well, couldn't you just wish for really, like, you know, obscure things, and like if it got into the wrong hands, they could easily just wish to become the new emperor or whatever. But like, I think it'll be okay. This could be one of those things. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would want this to be a common thing. I feel like this would be something that would be super rare, that, you know, is almost just a myth. But like, it could be something that Luna and Nico find. I think the best way to implement this is to have Luna and or Nico get hurt in some way, and so they need to go find this flower, because like there's just no other way to save them. Like maybe they were seriously poisoned, and they're just like, we need to, like, there's no cure for this, we have to get this flower or else they're gonna die. And so they go get this flower, and then like they make the wish, and then they're all good. That's sort of the thing that happened. So I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. We would just have to make sure to implement it right, because implemented in the wrong way, it could lead to a lot of questions being asked, like, why won't the king, for example, grow one? And so it has to be something that, like, it's just a myth, and you don't find them randomly. Like, you have to know specifically where you're going, and it's just like super rare. Like only one. Right. That way Luna and Nico could still discover it and find it and do stuff, but like nobody else would be able to find it. If you find a Whisper Lilith in the wild, you can count how many golden strands are on it and tell how old it is. Exactly. That's a good point. Give it some sort of animal guardian that eats only the flower, like that. It could also have some sort of guardian where you have to like pass a test. Nobody can pass the test except for obviously Luna and Nico. Maybe it's one of those things that the attendant tells Luna and Nico to find. Well, that's a good point, but at the same time, if the attendant knows about it, the odds are the king knows about it too. And so there'd have to be a good reason for the king not to want it. So I don't know. I meant to say Lily, not Liv. It's fine. Alright, well, there's nothing really to do for this one other than just to share it. But, yeah. I like the idea. I like the potential it has. Because, like, for example, if Luna gets, like, maybe in the tournament arc, if Luna gets super intense and, you know, maybe she's gotten her wings at this point, and she's, like, still learning how to use her wings, and she uses them in battle in the tournament, but then something happens, like, she doesn't know how to manage it, and so she's trying to dodge, but she doesn't dodge correctly, and so just, like, one of her wings gets hurt, and it's like, oh, shoot. This is a really bad wound, and there's nothing I can do about it. So Nico finishes the tournament on Luna's behalf or something with the help of a crippled Luna, maybe. And then, I don't know. Maybe it's like, maybe they were hit with a magic blast that, like, starts decaying. So it's like, it first hit her wings, so it's like, oh, well, I can't use my wings now. But then it's like, it starts spreading, like, onto her back and then, like, all over her body. So then you have to go find this flower, or else, you know, she's done for. So imagine them inside of a dormant volcano? Possibly. Yeah, it could be in just like a hard to get location. There has to be some reason why people don't have these commonly. So it either has to be in a really hard to get location, or it has to be like there's a guardian that assesses you and is like, are you worthy? Something like that. See that being an episode with a part 2. Well, right. Well, most episodes are just a continuation off the last one, so that's what happens when you have a plot. So, oh, let's see, how much time we got? We've got 30, well, we got 50 minutes left, so about an hour. And we've got 21, so we're over halfway. Well, I think we might have a little bit of time at the end to brainstorm some ideas. There could also just be limitations in what you can wish for. That's true, but like, why would there be limitations? Like, how would you know the limitations? You know, something like that. And I mean, healing someone is like the peak. Like, bringing someone back to life is obviously like the hardest. That would be the thing that would be the most limited. But also just healing someone, like that also seems like it would be something that would be past the limitation. So that might be a bit hard to implement. All right, fire grass, number 14. It appears as any common grass in daylight, often filling up vast meadows and growing taller than Ilarian adults. In a dark area, usually at night, it can be illuminated by touching it. Contact with just a single blade can set off a ripple, passing through the entire field. The grass shines like flames, often appearing as if a field has been set on fire from afar. I love this idea. It's so cool. Because it's like you can just... I imagine in my head like a huge meadow of fire grass. And it's like you touch it. And then it's like a ripple effect. And it's like everything gets ignited. Obviously it doesn't turn into flames, it just lights up. But I think it'd be cool. So, yeah, love this. This one is fully completed as well, so we don't really have to do anything on this other than just share it, because I love this idea. And then this is Luna, so that's cool. Grows on volcanoes? Are you talking about the fire grass or the whisper lilies? Fire grass, it's sort of like you sort of get that like more volcano-y vibe, but at the same time it just seems like a cool plant that would just grow in fields. What if there's a luck element to it? You could explain it through mana and how everything in Ilaria is connected through it. If you find / consume the whisper lily, then your luck increases for a certain amount of time. Maybe. I don't know. That's it sort of seems like we'll have to develop the Whisper Lily in conjunction with the episode and the circumstance, because like if we're using it to heal Luna, which I think, or Nico, if we're using it to heal, which I think is like that's like the biggest reason why you would want to go find it, is if something bad happened, then the limitation doesn't exactly work. But if it was just like, oh, here's a cool myth, let's go check it out, it's like, well, then you could have the limitation thing and they could just wish for like water or something, like, I'm thirsty right now, give me a glass of water, and then something like that. Then you could have the limitation. So it just depends on the circumstance and what we're using it for. Maybe we'll do a different looking ripple in the direction that you need to go if you were lost. That's interesting. I don't know how it would know, but like as far as the different directions of ripples, maybe it's like if you have this whole field and you flick going this way, then it just creates a line and it goes that way. And then you could make like really interesting artworks. And then if you like did a little twirl, then it would just like do a path of the twirl. I feel like that would be so cool. And then what would be even cooler is if after like a minute or so, like if the light started fading, then it would just be like an infinite canvas where you could just do infinitely cool stuff. So Yeah, I like the fire grass. All right, so Nim. Nim means poison in Irish. A plant like poison ivy, but if handled carefully, can make medicine. We don't have an image. This was just a poison plant that can make medicine, which is sort of similar to which one was it that you could make medicine out of? Was it this one? Sort of, but oh well, this one was a drug that could make people fall asleep, so I guess it was this one that could like heal or pain. So Nim is just a poison that can be used to make good stuff. All right. This one was just an image posted. So there's no name, no description. It was just a cool looking flower. So does this generate any ideas for anybody as far as what it would be? My first initial reaction was it sort of looks like a game. So like it looks like you could grab one of the little string things, although it would have to be modified a little bit. But you just grab the side, spin it, and then the longer it spins for, the color changes. It's like it could start out purple, and then as you spin it, like it turns more red and red. And so it's just like a fun like game. Like, hey, how long can you get it to spin for? I don't know. So that was just my first reaction. So anybody else got anything interesting? Looks like you can make clothes from it. We're doing plants now. Did you just get here? Yeah, we're doing plants. Like throwing stars? It sort of does look like a throwing star. It can give illusions to protect itself from being harvested. But what would you get from harvesting it? Rainbow spinner, like a thread. Yes, you just got here. Well, welcome. Yeah, we're doing plants. You missed out on all the other plants. I honestly have no idea how I'm going to do the recap episode because, like, I mean, I suppose I could just do the base description and cut out all the parts where we are deciding on a name, but, like, at the same time, it's like you sort of need the name, maybe. I don't know. But on what color it ends up being. That works, too. It just, like, you spin it and then it's like a, I mean, are they just called spinners? I don't know what those things are called. Like on game shows. My first idea was a dream catcher. That's a good idea too, a dream catcher. Looks like a common decoration in the wall of people's homes. Maybe if you touch it, it changes color so it's easily customizable. That's interesting. They're just called spinners. Rad of Fortune? Do you mean Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, like the wheel on Wheel of Fortune. That was what I thought of when I first saw that, so. The game idea, but the longer it spins, it goes through an entire rainbow. Still thinking clothes. Well, what if you could make clothes out of it, but like the more movement you did, the different colors it would change. So like if you were just walking, like if you were just standing, it'd be purple. Then if you started walking, maybe it would be red. Then if you started sprinting or just running, like jogging, then it would turn like green. And then if you were like dead sprinting, then it would be, I don't know, yellow or something. What's the Ilarian language? English. What if it changes color depending on the angle or reflection it has light on? That could work too. That one makes more sense than the spinning one, but that one's interesting. Okay, the language is English. And the reason that it is English is because Ilaria and Earth were together at one point, and so they just were like, okay, we need to establish a language, and so the ancient Ilarian language was just more complicated than English was, and they determined that English was just the best one, especially since a lot of Earth's world speaks English. So that's sort of why they chose English, and then that just became the language that all of Ilarian spoke. So yeah, English is the language on Ilaria. Okay, so are we doing it to where it changes colors based on the reflection? Is that what we're doing? This flower oh, you added something on Discord? Oh, cool. The singing roots tree. Should I present it? We will add that as a flower down below, or as a plant. I suppose it wouldn't be a flower, so I'll import that here later. Okay, do we have anything else? Do we have a name for this guy, plant 16? Change color based on a potion. Maybe that too. Should we do language? No, because we already have language. Language is the Ilarian language is just English. It's the same. We don't need to do a separate stream. Prism spinner. Well, are we still doing the spinner thing? Because that was just my initial thought, but like if we're just doing based on the reflected light, we might not need to do the spinner. Or maybe you can still spin it and it would change the light on it or something. Used by artists to make paint reflector? Possibly, but if it, I don't know what paint color it would be. Prism lily? Alright, I'm fine with that. Prism lily, let's just do that. Alright, the raging red flower, name could be changed, I suppose, acts like a hot spring and heats things up. It's like a microwave. Which could be interesting. Because, like, on one hand, you could have a oven / microwave type of thing that's based on magic. Or, if you just needed, like, a boiling water, you could just use this plant. You know? Could be found in bodies of water, perhaps? Possibly. It could be something found underwater that, like, creates bubbles from the heat. Then it, like... And then if you harvest it and take it out of the water, if you put water inside the dome, then it heats up the water. Like a natural kettle. Exactly, yeah. So we can say found underwater. I suppose that's one word. Alright. If it's in water, then the water fizzes in soda plant, yeah. Creates bubbles. And so you can find it by the bubble streams. You'll put a bottle of poppleberry in that. Yeah. Or maybe how you make poppleberry soda is you just put the poppleberries inside of this plant and then it heats it up and then it turns into a liquid in the plant. Then you just pour that liquid into the glass. Eats people? No, there's actually a different plant that will do for that. Okay, this next one, let's see, we had a name for that one. Raging Red Flower, although that will probably be changed later. This one. This was just a reference image, so does anybody get any thoughts from this one? Like, the only thought I get from this one is like a food, maybe. But even then, I don't know, like, what it would be used for, other than just a food. So does anybody have any ideas for this one? Huh. What if combining the poppleberry and this plant does the same thing as Mentos and soda? Maybe. That could be interesting. Well, I know you meant the hot plant. That's what I was talking about. This is the mushroom pet's true form. That's funny. When you eat it, dry out completely? What if this plant, it looked sort of similar to a mushroom, but what it is it's like a food, but you don't eat it. It's, well, I suppose it'd be more like a liquid, but you could technically eat it maybe. But anyway, it's like filled with a lot of liquid on the inside. So what you do is you suck out the liquid, and then this is the end result after you've sucked out all the liquid. Maybe. I don't know, I'm just talking about like this part right here. Like this rind thing wouldn't be included. But like this is what's left after you suck out all the liquids from it. Looks like a fungus now, actually. Well, yeah. So it could be sort of like a type of fungus that you just like suck out liquid from. And then it tastes good. Maybe. Or maybe it's sorry, I apologize. Maybe it's, well, I forgot what I was gonna say. What was I thinking of? Oh, maybe it's something like some sort of medicine. It's just like a natural medicine that, you know, you can store it until you need it, and then if you need it, just suck out the medicine from it. Maybe it's Ilarian's form of soap. That could work too. Although it doesn't really look like soap, does it? It doesn't. I don't really see the soap from it. Suck out the medicine and then deep fry it? Deep fry it? I don't think they have fryers on Ilaria. Alright, what do we want to do? Comment what you want to do for this plan. Like what? I mean, we don't have to do anything if nobody likes it, but they don't want Anilaria now? What, because they don't have deep fryers? Yeah, their food there is organic. Could be ghostly to some extent. Maybe. So are we doing the medicine? Are we doing just a food type of thing? It's not edible until peeled. Then you find stuff also Vera? Food? Also. Maybe there's like different variations of it. So like it comes in this naturally like covered state, then you have to like peel the covers open, and then there's left like this, but there's like different versions of this, and then each version has like a different liquid on the inside, so it's like a natural brand of candy, and then you just suck out the liquids, and then it's like just a natural candy. They even make oil from it to deep fry stuff. Well, you really want deep fryers on Ilaria, don't you? You guys want the corrupted king? I will go out there and create oil and pan. Why so much candy? I don't know. I was just like saying it would be interesting. It could be medicine maybe. Or I was just spitballing. You don't have to get so defensive on the candy. I was just spitballing. Do we want to just skip it and come back to it at some point? We can just do that if we want. Where did that go? Hello. Oh yeah, put that. More things that can kill you? You want more things that can kill you? Well, there'll be a couple more probably. Okay, well, I'll put, whoops, food, maybe, and then we'll skip it. All right. So, a carnivorous plant that looks and sounds like a crying baby. It could attract attention by crying, and someone comes over to comfort them, but then the plant reveals its thorny teeth, and then the person reaches their painful end. Is that enough killing things for you, Jaro? I like this one. I don't know what it would look like, but it would, to me, I just imagine like a bean for some reason that has like a face maybe, because it just like it's a bean that opens up its mouth or something. I think looking like a baby wouldn't make sense. Right, but it could still sound like it, yeah. I think just like a bean, like a simple looking plant, because on the outside a bean is like, it's just a bean. It's like, well, it doesn't look dangerous or anything, but if you get close to it, then the bean opens up its 4 mouthpieces and then just, engulfs someone whole. It's in foggy places? Possibly. That could work. You could probably tell the plant to stop crying rather than try to comfort it. Okay, well, I don't have an image. Do we have a name for this? I don't know. I don't have any name ideas for it. And I can't believe I'm so tired today. I was looking forward to having a fun, energetic stream for plants. But it's okay. Still having fun. It's just tired fun. Reminds me of one of those coffins, like the one in Despicable Me with the spikes. I'm trying to remember what that is, but it's been a while since I don't. Oh, yeah. I remember what you're talking about. The one with the apple juice, right? I think that's what it was. Lure, crave, trap. Lethal baby sounds great though. Maybe. The trapping crier, baby killer. I like baby killer, and the reason for that is it could be one of those things. Like, I just imagined a scene in my head where Luna and Nico are walking through the forest, and then Nico finds this plane. He's like, whoa, what's this thing? It looks like a whatever it looks like. Or crybaby. Crybaby's interesting, but baby killer would be funnier for this gag. So Nico's like, whoa, what's this thing? Luna's like, Nico, back away. That is super dangerous. Nico's like, well, what's it called? And she's like, it's called the baby killer. And then Nico's like, what? I'm not a baby. Like, why is this so dangerous? And then Luna's like, no, you don't understand. It's baby killer because it sounds like a baby when it kills you. And then Nico's like, what? And then you hear this faint crying noise. Then it gets louder and louder. Then Luna's like, we gotta get out of here, run. And then Nico's like, oh, wait, what's going on? And then like Nico's like, he sees the mouth open up. He's like, oh no, gotta get out of here. And then they start running away. So, I don't know. That's just, crybaby would work too, but baby killer sounds, crybaby makes for a better name, but baby killer, if we were doing that gag, baby killer makes more sense for it. So we can do cry. Well, maybe it has two names. Maybe it could be one of those things where it's like it has two names. So it's crybaby slash baby killer. Yeah, we can decide on one later, or we could just have it be both. Do you want to get copyrighted? The baby killer is a quote from the theater company called Star Kid. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe. Sounds like it kills babies, not that the baby kills the other baby. Well, that's sort of part of the joke, because Nico was like, well, I'm not a baby. Like, why would it affect me? Like, this thing's tiny. It's like, how would it kill me? Baby muncher? Well, that sounds less ominous. You know, that sounds like, oh, I'm gonna munch on you, instead of like, I'm gonna kill you, you know? All right. So this is a love-related flower. Myths say that if these flowers bloom in the moonlight while you are with a person, that means that you are deeply in love with them, and with them romantically or platonically. If you pick it up, then put it behind the special someone's ear, your love will last forever. Now, the problem I have with this one is that, like, I don't like it when love is forced. Love should be something that is, you know, developed between two characters. So I don't know if I would like this, but I suppose if like everybody's in love with it, I'm not opposed to it. So, I mean, it could definitely do something with love. As far as making love last forever, that just seems forced, and I don't know. That just does not fit my beliefs on what love is. So, it could be one of those things where it's like your love is said to last forever. It's not actually magical. It's just a myth. Well, yeah, okay. Maybe it's not real though, since it's just like a myth, right? Okay, well, I'd be fine if it was a myth. Can you imagine this flower blooming when you are with a group? I can not get over it. Yeah. Okay. Anybody have any name ideas? Will last forever. Or so the wind says. Alright, cool. Mix this with the first one and you get high. Yeah. I can also imagine this one would be cool for if it was in the what did we name it? This one. The Orbisa bloom. Like this one would be cool to have it like bloom in here. Oh yeah, it already says myth says. Alright. Since it already says myth says, we can... Yeah, alright, cool. Alright. Moonlight Amor. I actually like that. Are we all fine with Moonlight Amor? Is it a flower that's more rare? Probably. I would assume it's more rare. Not like the rarest of the rare, but like, you know. You can, there might be like a field of them, and some of them have bloomed, some of them haven't, and then it's like you'd sit in that field to like wait for it to bloom or whatever. All right, are we all good with this? I like this. Moonlight Amor. I feel like it would be something that you could find in certain places if you know where to look. You're not just going to find it randomly in a forest maybe, but like, well, maybe you could, but it would just be a bit more rare that way. But like, if you know where to look, you can find them. Maybe it's something like that. Alright, number 21. It's the final plant that we have. Oh, well, that's not true. Ralunix said something too. The giant pitcher plant. Looks like a pool, but you can tell it's a plant from the rim in the stalk. It's flush with the ground, but once you go in, it will snatch you up and the whole thing will eventually come out of the ground and go into the air. It's extremely difficult to escape. Eventually it will go back into the ground and look like a pool again. So here it is when it's flush with the ground. And then if you get in, it will rise and then it'll just trap you in here. Wait, there's 2 more after this. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. So I like this one. This one's interesting. So a trap. Yeah, exactly. It's a trap. You gotta be careful. Watch your step. Nico could be like, hey, I'm gonna go swim. Like, this looks cool. And then Luna could be like, wait, hold up. That's not a pool. That's a trap. Nico would be like, oh, I wanted to go swimming. Well, this one already has a name and a description and a photo, so I think we're good on this one. Poor Nico is testing all the mischief. Exactly, that's his character. All right, secret meat plant. It has meat hidden in it ultra manly. Okay. And then grass, regular grass, but made out of Ilarian. Okay, well, that was not worth it. All right. All right, well, let me save. This is the singing roots. Right? Let's see. Right, yeah, okay. So this is the singing roots. I'll go ahead and save this. So it's not a plant, it's a place. So here we've got the location. It looks beautiful. So let's see here. I suppose I don't know if I want to put it on here because it's not a it's a place. It's not. So I think we should have a stream eventually on like famous places on Ilaria, and then like that'll go on that document. I don't want to put it on here because it's a place, not a plant. So yeah, but I did want to talk about it since it's sort of similar. So that's the singing roots, and like the roots make noise, and it's cool. Oh, it's not famous, only they know about it. Okay, well, it's still a location on Ilaria that is not, it's not a common location. It's a special location on Ilaria. So we'll have to make a stream about like just locations on Ilaria that are special. Put it that way. Important places on Ilaria. Yeah, there we go. So that is good. All right, so we've got 10 minutes left. Stream went by quick. So it doesn't look like we're gonna have time to brainstorm because we have to come up with what we're doing next week and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this was a productive stream. We now know more about Ilaria and sort of some of the things that we can find on it. So cool. Weeping Willow that makes you sad. That's also a good idea. Actually, I want that. Oh, as a plant? I want that as a plant. A weeping willow that makes you sad. I guess if you have any like last minute ideas for plants, I can quickly write them down, and then maybe we could do like a plant stream part 2 or something. We actually did something in this stream. We've done stuff in all the streams. I don't know what you're talking about. Something like a dandelion. Okay. Yeah, okay. A plant that provides light. Okay, well we could do another plant that provides light. If not, Callisto planted dandelions on Ilaria. That's funny. Yeah, it's sort of similar to the grass, but like this could be something that is separate, like a lamp kind of thing. All right, what do we want to do next stream as well? So you can submit more basic plant ideas, or we can do what we're doing next stream. A bush that you can go into and see everything that's happened on the outside, but not see what's on the inside. I like that. Let's go with this. That's interesting. Like a one-sided glass. A mobile plant you keep as a pet. That's sort of the mushroom pet. Callisto casually, drastically changes the entire ecosystem on Ilaria. Funny. Plants that glow in underground caves. Well, we sort of have that. That was sort of a thing. I think we should do important places on Ilaria next week. Well, okay, the thing with that is we might want to develop some of the islands first before we do that. So that way we can actually pinpoint where on the map these places are. Maybe. I don't know. Depending on like what the environment and what the biome is. So I think the order of events that we have to do as far as like more world building stuff is possibly a plants part 2, depending on how many plants we wanted to actually incorporate into the ecosystem. And then islands. So just naming the islands, coming up with like the different kind of themes of the islands if they have a theme, and then populating the islands as far as like, you know, what the towns are called, what the towns look like, maps, stuff like that. And then we can get into like what is, well, I don't know, depending on like the maps might sort of be combined with like this forest is on this side of the map and stuff like that. So there's a lot of, and then after we have all that, then we could be like, okay, in this forest, let's have, in this forest on this island, let's have this cool little monument and have it do this, for example. So there's quite a lot of stuff that we've got to do before I think we could do places like that. Yeah. Knowing it's eternal spring shortens the plants a lot and such. Ilarian creatures. Okay. Go over another side character? Possibly. We could do more side characters. Okay, we can do this. A tree that rocks grow and falls on heads. Have games in some of them. Okay. Progress, so we could start making stories. Well, there's a lot of background stuff that we have to do before we could start making stories. Like, I want to do the story stuff too, but I was saying biomes, but that's the same thing, right? Yeah, I feel like we have to like come up with more island stuff first. Or, I mean, I suppose the biomes could be like, we could just make a list of islands, and then when it's time to do the map, we could just say, all right, which area, like, what area do we want the biomes to be? Which might actually be a better idea, to make a list of biomes and sort of describe those biomes with the different plants. But honestly, before we do that, I feel like we need another plant stream. And the reason for that is because I don't know if we have enough plants. We have some really unique plants on this stream, but we need more generic plants. You know, like just a bunch of generic looking trees. Like, are they the same on Earth, or are they a little bit different? Like, what's the difference between them? So we need a generic plant stream. This one was like a unique plant stream. Now you regret having 9 islands. Yeah, it's a lot, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. You have a long whisper list of ideas. Generic plants like grass? Yes. So, what do we want to do next stream? We need more common plants. Yeah, okay, so we need common plants. I think the order of events that we should do is common plants, biomes. Then we can draw out, we can actually make the island maps and say, okay, this is the biome. Then once we have, then once we put the biomes on Ilaria, then we can start building up civilization. So like putting towns onto the islands after we have what the islands looked like before people inhabited them. You want to teach Ilarians how to deep fry stuff next? Yeah, okay. I feel like the King's Island is covered in oak trees, all sprouting from one huge one. which was the original he might have brought, it went as a seed. That's an interesting idea. Probably do a common plants, biomes, environments, base, islands, and more islands. The environment slash biomes I feel like would be the same one. We also need the different Ilarian creatures so that way we know what animals live in what biomes. So you're talking about just generic creatures versus like more humanoid creatures. Okay. That's actually a good point, because if we want to continue on, because the creatures were here before the more humanoid people, so we do need to do creatures. Oh, gems. Yeah, okay. Ilarian animals is a good one to do. If we want to continue, because here's the thing, right? Side characters is always a good thing to do, but it's like, if we want to start developing the actual story, side characters are going to appear less in the plot, and they're going to be more for, like, I don't know, more filler type episodes or just for the background. So if we want to start developing the story a little bit more, we got to develop the islands. Like, that's the next important big step. And so we got to start knowing what we're populating the islands with, and then we can start doing the story. Filaria is an eternal spring. The diversity won't be that hard on the islands. Right, okay. Guess we are turning in Ilaria, but with no magic. Well, right now we're developing... Ilaria in itself has a bunch of magic. It's just we're developing the islands first as if there was no human... Well, it's not human. As if there was no Ilarians there yet. So we're going to develop it before there was civilization, and then we will start adding civilization as we go on. So, are you late? Well, if you just got here, yes, you are late, because we are ending here in a couple minutes. Other than world building, what other types of stuff can we work on in streams? World building, characters. Well, eventually plot, but we can't do plot right now. Yeah, we went back in time. So, do we just want to do characters? Or not characters, like creatures and animals? Like, are we gonna... Do we want to have, like, a nice long run of... Like, I feel like we had a lot of characters in a row. So maybe this is, like, the time that we're doing, like, world building. So, like, next stream could be, you know, generic creatures. Well, actually, before we do that, though, we might have to do just generic plants. So that way we could say, okay, well, in these trees, these creatures can live in the trees. So maybe before we can even do animals, we have to do a generic plants stream. Yeah, okay, so the islands is probably going to be... Well, depending on how quick we do stuff, I think as far as populating the islands with the different biomes, we could do all 9 islands in one stream. But as far as, like, making the islands and putting, like, cities and towns on them, that's going to take up a whole stream per island. So that's going to be at least 9 streams for each island, plus the biome, which is 10 streams. So it's going to be a long time to do all that. You don't think generic plants would take that long? Okay, well, what if we just called it a generic plant stream, but then also if we were like, if we finished everything in time, then we can do animals. Is that fine? Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do next week. We will do generic plants, which should be interesting. If you have any ideas for generic plants, the plants section on the Discord's still open, so you can put like just a bunch of generic flowers and grass and trees and stuff. Although I would like to see it be, you know, not just like a bunch of oak trees and whatever, but like maybe different colors, you know, like maybe there's like a bluish tint of tree. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're all green. Who knows? It might not take that long. It might take the whole stream. Who knows? But we will do a generic plants, and then if we have enough time, then we'll get started on the animals, the basic animals on Ilaria. So, yeah, next Sunday, probably, unless there's something comes up. Pink lily pads, right. It could be a lot of similar Earth stuff, just different colors and sort of unique attributes. It's just common things. Can't wait for the Tuesday stream. There's no stream on Tuesday. Tuesday is a recap episode. Although I have no idea how I'm going to do this recap episode, so we'll see. But, yeah, alright. That's going to be it for this stream. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week, probably. Unless if something comes up, but I don't think there will be, so, yeah, we'll see. Alright. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. And, I'll see you, let's see, it'll be tomorrow for Miraculous Monday. So, yeah, fun times. All right. See ya. Yeah, see ya.